You're watching the Alabama Weather Network.
It's Thursday, the 22nd of January. This is James Spann. All the focus is on the weekend. For a lot of Alabama, just a soaking rain. There might be some strong storms. There could be some major ice accumulation. You name it, we've got it. And it's a complex forecast, so just kind of strap in and we'll walk your way through it. And again, the upper air look, we have a big trough over the eastern two-thirds of the country. And that's the delivery mechanism for more cold air we'll experience this weekend. There's the visible satellite view. For most of the state, it's cloudy with some rain today. However, we've had some sun across the Tennessee Valley and near the Gulf Coast. In fact, some pretty decent rainbows across the Birmingham metro within the hour. So temperatures are in the 50s for the northern two-thirds of the state. It's 50 in Birmingham, but hey, look at Gulf Shores, Mobile, Geneva, Dothan, low 70s. That feels like springtime there. And again, we're going to see a big contrast over the weekend as well. So we've had some changes to the watch warning situation. We now have an ice storm warning in effect for the extreme northwest corner of Alabama. 3 counties, that's Lauderdale, Colbert, Franklin, parts of southwest Tennessee, northeast Mississippi, the Mississippi Delta, back into southeast Arkansas, and northeast Louisiana. The counties there in the darker shades of pink. Here is a closer look at Alabama. And again, Lauderdale, Colbert, Franklin. 3 counties under an ice storm warning. That's where the most meaningful ice accumulation will likely be. Now, to the south of that, there is a winter weather advisory. As far south as Lamar, Fayette, Walker, Cullman, Marshall, and DeKalb counties. And then there's a winter storm watch for Blount, Etowah, Cherokee, Calhoun, and Cleburne counties. And that's in case cold air moves in from the east, the cold air damming effect that might create some icing issues there. Remains to be seen. That's very iffy. The greatest confidence in freezing rain and icing is up there in that northwestern corner of the state, but northeast Alabama could see some issues as well. And you talk about a far-ranging storm. Wow. We've got winter storm watches and warnings all the way from New Mexico to southern Maine. I mean, that is a huge chunk of the eastern and central United States. The counties in hot pink on that map, those are winter storm warnings. North and central Texas, all of Oklahoma, all of Arkansas, middle and western Tennessee. Those are warnings now. The watches extend up to New York and Boston. So there's a gazillion questions about different locations. The best idea, if you need a specific outlook for any specific point away from the deep south down here, look for the National Weather Service office that serves that area. They typically got good impact graphics, and they can be very helpful if you're trying to travel or if you have relatives in some of these affected areas. Obviously, severe storms not a problem today. Maybe some thunder from Fort Lauderdale down to Miami. Tomorrow, maybe some thunder for parts of West Texas. On day 3, which is Saturday, there could be some thunder over Mississippi, Louisiana, and southeastern Texas. And again, on day 4, now we don't have the graphic yet, but Sunday there could be some strong thunderstorms over south and maybe even central Alabama. How about that? You go from icing in the northwestern corner of the state to a chance of strong storms in the southern part of the state. So here's the precipitation for the next 7 days. A lot. And again, goodness gracious, if all of that came down is snow or freezing rain, we'd have the winter storm of record here. But that's not the case. A lot of this will just simply be rain. Some of it will be freezing rain for the northeast and northwest corners of the state. Liquid equivalents there in the 3 to 4 inch range. And this is the newly updated outlook from WPC, 1 to 2 inches for South Alabama. And listen, getting the rain, that's good. This is the new drought monitor that was released today. And all of a sudden, a D3 extreme drought is back on the board, parts of Macon, Lee, and Russell counties, and a small part of Bullock County in East Alabama. So again, getting some rain's not a bad thing, but you don't want the ice. So let's talk about the weekend. And again, this is a very complex situation here. It's going to vary greatly from point A to point B in Alabama. But this is the European, valid tomorrow afternoon at 3, model fans, 12Z run. Zonal flow, and really I think a decent chunk of the day tomorrow should be dry. A lot of clouds around, probably afternoon highs, upper 40s and low 50s for the north, 60s, maybe low 70s for South Alabama, much like today. This is the high-resolution HER model, valid tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock, basically showing nothing, so not much rain tomorrow. So our big mess moves in here on Saturday. This is Saturday at 3. We're with the European model. Pink, that would be freezing rain. Blue, that would be snow. The better chance of snow north of Interstate 20. Better chance of freezing rain, extreme northwest Alabama. And really, a lot of the state will probably be dry Saturday, the southern two-thirds of the state. For South Alabama, the big rains will be in here on Sunday, late Saturday night and Sunday. But let's go to Saturday night at midnight. And the warm sector of that storm is pushing north. And the question is, can the freezing rain continue around the shoals? And could we see some freezing rain in the northeast corner of the state with a wedge coming in from the east? And that's the messaging we've tried to express all along here, the better chance of significant icing from freezing rain, the northeast and northwest corners of the state. Scottsboro in northeast Alabama down toward Fort Payne, and northwest Alabama, the shoals down toward Russellville. But for most of Alabama, Saturday night, just a soaking rain. Temperatures will likely be rising through the night. In fact, look at this. This is Sunday morning. Sunday morning at 11 o'clock. This is coming off the European, the new run. Birmingham, 60. So obviously no ice issues in the Birmingham metro, Tuscaloosa, Anniston, Gadsden. And again, in the Tennessee Valley, the European is suggesting even Florence will be above freezing, Fort Payne above freezing through the night, Saturday night into Sunday morning. So there could be a little break in there where temperatures come above freezing, and instead of freezing rain, we just have good old-fashioned rain. But temperatures will be dropping like a rock Sunday afternoon. I mean, that's 6 o'clock Sunday evening, 20s in the Tennessee Valley, Birmingham down to freezing. And again, that's our concern. It's for a flash freeze, black ice kind of thing Sunday night and Monday, really for the northern half of the state. But again, let's go back to Sunday night and look at the different models. This is coming off the reliable European. And again, this is suggesting most of the state rain. Freezing rain perhaps for northeast and northwest Alabama, the corners of the state there. So this is the American GFS model, and it's a little colder, very similar, same idea. The better icing northeast, northwest Alabama, the corners. But this is suggesting maybe Huntsville could see some icing late Saturday or Saturday night. But again, the GFS, a little bit of an outlier. We'll check the Canadian model, and it's got icing over northwest Alabama Saturday night at midnight. And we're getting within range of the high-resolution models. This is the high-resolution NAM, valid at midnight Saturday night, 60 hours out. And again, it's got freezing rain for the northwestern tip of the state around Florence, and maybe a little bit of freezing rain up around Fort Payne, Mentone, Valley Head, places like that. But again, for most of the state, just rain. So this is the potential ice accumulation coming off the national blend of models. And again, you can see how widespread this mess is. You can have ice accumulation all the way from Dallas-Fort Worth to Baltimore. Here's a closer look at our neck of the woods. And again, using this approach, this is a good approach at the ensemble approach. You can see that the number there, if you can't read it, it's 1/10 of an inch for the shoals. And it doesn't sound like much, but that's a lot of ice. Now, you've seen some products that mention up to 1 inch of ice. If there's 1 inch of ice, that's a horrible situation. But the NBM here is suggesting 1/10 of an inch, and that could lead to some scattered power outages. If that's the case, probably nothing too widespread, scattered outages. Now, if it goes above 1/10 of an inch, let's say 1/4 of an inch or higher, then there could be more widespread power outages and more problems. And it's all a matter of those temperatures and that low-level cold air, and the models don't handle that well sometimes. And that's why this is so complex. A difference of 1, 2, 3 degrees can make the difference between a really severe ice storm and just an inconvenience with scattered outages. But again, clearly the message here is that the better chance of icing from freezing rain, those two corners, the northwest corner, the northeast corner of the state. Now, if you're looking for snow, this is not your storm if you're in Alabama. There could be a few snowflakes on the backside of this thing on Sunday, but the better chance of really good snow north of Interstate 40, especially up into Kentucky, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio. That's coming off the European. We'll check the American GFS, very similar. It's got some better snows down toward Nashville. Nashville's kind of a tough call with snow totals there. But again, for Alabama, the clear message here, do not look for meaningful snow accumulation. You might see a few snowflakes Sunday on the back edge of this precipitation, but this is not going to be a classic Alabama snowstorm. And again, Sunday morning, we could see 60s as far north as Birmingham, low 60s. And the air is going to be unstable in South Alabama, and there could very well be some strong thunderstorms. Could we have severe storms? Not out of the question for South Alabama. In fact, you can see 70s down in southeast Alabama. But again, hopefully that warm tongue will come up and help alleviate some of the icing over the northwest and northeastern corners for a time Sunday morning. But remember, temperatures will drop like a rock Sunday afternoon. We go below freezing very quickly over the northern half of the state. And really, another big concern, it's that possibility of a flash freeze with 2 inches of rain or more. It's not going to go away instantly. And temperatures come down so quick, and you could have a flash freeze, black ice kind of thing, which could really foul up travel for the northern half of the state Sunday night and Monday morning. So be aware of that. And we stay below freezing all day Monday for the northern half of the state. But again, this is Sunday at 3 o'clock off the European. And that warm tongue extends all the way into Tennessee. This is suggesting it changes to rain to Knoxville. And again, you got the wedge, cold air damming with icing down to near Athens, Georgia. Again, as the cold air comes in, icing again for northwest Alabama. And that will be ending Sunday night. And Monday, we're just cold. Again, below freezing all day for the northern half of the state. And by Tuesday morning, the bottom drops out. We'll see lows in the 10 to 15 degree range for the northern counties. And there could be a few spots in the single digits. And we're still dry. Wednesday, we're dry, highs getting back in the 40s. And a week from today, Thursday the 29th, got a big trough on the East Coast. And once again, cold and dry. Seems like a reinforcing shot of cold air comes in here. Let's go out 10 days. Sunday, the 1st of February. Wow. This time, the European depicting a little trough down in the eastern Gulf, and all that stays far to the south of here, and we're still dry. Here's rain for the next 15 days. The mean is the green line. Down a little bit. It's a little over 2 inches between now and the 6th of February. And again, a lot of that is going to be this weekend. And these numbers, national blend of models, the central part of the state. If you're in the Tennessee Valley, subtract some numbers. If you're in South Alabama, add some numbers. And I stress that high on Sunday of 51, that's going to come during the morning. And we might hit 60 in many spots. South Alabama, probably low 70s on Sunday. Numbers will be all over the board. But remember, once that front comes through, temperatures will drop very quickly. The high will be established in the morning. And many spots over north and central Alabama should be below freezing by Sunday afternoon. Below freezing all day Monday. Low teens on Tuesday. And again, you can see even toward the end of next week and that following weekend. Very cold. Highs in the 30s. Lows in the teens. Latest long-range guidance. This is for the 30th through the 5th, 30th of January through the 5th of February. Deep blue in place here. Temperatures below average. Looks like we're going to have a hard time warming up here for the next 15 days if all this verifies. But really quickly, let's roll some Children's of Alabama Kid Cam. Come on now. I like a big crowd. That's a big crowd. Asbury School in Marshall County. What a great time we had today. Pre-K through 8th grade, all in the gym. I love it. What a great session, and I like this cake a lot. That's outstanding. That's some artwork right there. That's amazing. What a cake. But we had a good session today. Obviously, we talked a little bit about winter weather. Talked about weather safety, weather forecasting, and much more. But again, that's a good school, great teachers. So again, to everybody at Asbury, thanks a lot for that great visit earlier today. And then stop number 2, Pelham Oaks Elementary School in Pelham in Shelby County. Third graders, you know, those third graders are good. They can soak up that science. And ooh, look at the cookies with a message, respect the polygon. That's what you do when there are tornado warnings around here. But had a really good session today. We talked about weather balloons, talked about hurricanes, tornadoes, did some storm spotting, and much more. Just a great session today. So again, to these third graders and all the teachers at Pelham Oaks, thanks a lot for a great visit earlier today. All right, one more time, there's a look at our icing potential, the big problems, the corners, northeast and northwest corners of the state. And again, we have that ice storm warning for 3 counties, the northwestern corner, Colbert, Franklin, and Lauderdale. That would include places like Red Bay, Russellville, Florence, Sheffield, Tuscumbia, Muscle Shoals, Lexington, Cherokee, and that winter weather advisory for the lighter shades of kind of purple there from Millport and Fayette and Jasper back up to Scottsboro and Fort Payne. And then for a few counties in East Alabama, that's a winter storm watch from Aniana over to Heflin and Center. So it's a complex forecast. You know, I know that we live in a world where people like to watch 30-second videos and they swipe to the next one. But for something like this, if you watch this whole video, thank you. And again, of course, we'll have updates on the Alabama Weather Network tonight And we'll be live through a large chunk of the weekend through this. We have some new amazing cameras. We have resources. We'll have people in the field. And during events like this, we want to be able to show you what's happening out there in the world so you don't have to get out there in it. And we'll be able to do that. So be sure you got the Alabama Weather Network app on your TV, your phone, your computer, and your tablet. And follow Alabama Weather Network on social media. And if you're new here, I do these extended videos twice a day. The next one's going to be out early tomorrow morning, about 5 or 5:30. I will be on ABC 3340 News this evening. And don't forget, you can catch my forecast every day on great radio stations around the state, including in Birmingham, 104.7 WZZK. Thanks for watching. Have a great Thursday evening, and God bless.